So this lesson is 6 and 10/100ths using a half circle protractor. So why are we using a half circle protractor? Well, we are going to get proficient at using this particular tool because it does make it a little bit easier to actually get exact angle measurements. So how are we going to do it? Well, let's take a look. So let's take a look. This is a half circle protractor. And as you can see, when you look at the protractor, you have a circle here in the center, and this is actually going to be where your vertex needs to be placed for your angle. And you'll want to make sure that one of your rays is lined up with this straight line here on this side, or this straight line on this side. And as you can see, we have a set of numbers that travels on the top, and actually this would be your 0 point here, and we go from 0 to 10 to 20 all the way around to 180 degrees, because we know that a straight line is 180 degrees. So these are the numbers on the top. Then we have numbers that are underneath going the opposite direction. So you might be asking yourself, well, how do I know which numbers to use? And that's a very good question. So let's take a look at an angle and what we would do in that particular situation. Okay, so as you can see, I've placed an angle here on my protractor, and we are trying to figure out which set of numbers to use to measure this particular angle. So since this ray is located on the right side of the protractor, that means we're going to start at 0 at this particular spot. So in order for me to start at 0, that means I have to be looking at the numbers underneath. Okay, because if I look up here, I'm not starting at 180. So I'm going to use the numbers here underneath, and I'm going to look to see where this particular ray comes out. And sometimes it helps to take a ruler and just extend that out here so that we can actually see where it lines up on the protractor. So I know this angle is between 60 and 70 degrees, and it's about 1 mark or 2 marks to the right of 70, so it's not quite 70. So I'm going to say that this particular angle is 68 degrees. So again, we looked at the underneath side of the numbers because our angle ray for this particular angle is lined up here on this side. So here's an instance where my ray is on the left side of my protractor, the way that I aligned it up. So instead of using the numbers on the bottom, because you can see this is starting at 180, we need to start on the top, and we're going to follow that around until we get to where this angle comes out. So again, we're looking at that top set of numbers. So if I took a ruler and extended this out, it lands on 105, 106, 107, roughly. So I would say that that particular angle is 107 degrees, measuring that particular angle. So in class, we will use the half circle protractors to measure and to actually draw angles. And we're hopefully going to be able to identify acute, obtuse, and right angles based on the knowledge that we have gained. Stay tuned. See you then.